What is going on, peasants? My name is JB, and we are back here today for yet another draft analysis. I'm in way too dang many leagues, but this time we are doing our draft analysis for the Global Ubers Union, which, as you can tell by the name of that, is of course an Ubers league ran by my buddy Obo, and he has like half the league already as admin. So like, if they're, you can see the logos down at the bottom when we get to the first slide. If they're there, they're probably an admin. But anyway, before we get into the team, a couple things I want to go over. First and foremost, I did decide to go ahead and dive into the realm of having a front office server. So if you are interested in joining my front office and helping me prep for all these leagues I join, let me know. Hit me up on Twitter, which the link to my Twitter is always in the description, or hit me up on Discord, leave a comment, however you want to. Just let me know if you're interested, and yeah, you could I'll just probably pass you an invite to the server if you let me know. So with that being said, let's go ahead and get into like the rules of this draft. This was, of course, an Ubers draft, you know, being named the Global Ubers Union, which from henceforth I'm just going to be calling the GUU. It was obviously an Ubers draft, and it was molded very much how the GBA was this current season, with you know, your big boss Ubers being your tier 1, your lower end Ubers being like tier 2, and then like your typical tier 1 mods being tier 3. Then, you know, your typical tier 2 mods being like tier 4, yada yada yada, and everything is also just sort of mixed in there. You guys probably know how it went, but yeah, you'll see, you know, some mons in tier 3 that you really wouldn't expect being tier 3 and that sort of thing. So if you're questioning why a mod is in a certain spot, it's because like that's just how they did it rather than a point style. It's basically worked out the same way anyway. So yeah, with that being said, let's go ahead and get into the team. So first off, I noticed a couple things right off the bat, that there were not a lot of tier 2s. Not only were there not a lot of tier 2s, there weren't a lot of great tier 2s. And then someone pointed out, like, I didn't bother counting them, but someone did bother counting how many tier 2s there were. There were exactly 16 tier 2s. And there are exactly 16 coaches in this league. So, me being the 1000 IQ player I am, I'm like, you know what? Let me secure, in my opinion, the best tier 2 in round 1. I had like a pretty late pick. I think it was 11, which is funny because I was 11 in NCP. I'm not sure when those two draft analyses are going up in correlation to each other, but I'm pretty sure I had the same pick in both, so, which is kind of annoying. But yeah, I ended up going with a tier 2 mon round 1, and that Pokemon was Magana. Magana was, in my opinion, the best tier 2 mon available, and I wanted to go ahead and make sure I grabbed it round 1 because obviously I didn't think it would get back to me on the wheel, especially with it being a tier 2, so I decided to go ahead and grab it maybe earlier than I should. I don't know. I was actually the second person to take a tier 2. It's the person right before me took Giratina. I want to say it was the one in tier 2. They took one of the Giratinas. I don't remember which one it was, but they took a Giratina. But anyway, we ended up with Magana. Magana just provides just an incredible Pokemon that can just, yeah, it's a great mon. Still fairy typing, fantastic bulk, good ability in Soul Heart, can run setup with Shift Gear Calm Mind, can run the Soul Vest and just not effing die, can slap a resist berry on it like fire, like Akka or Shuka, and just live hits for days. Provides, you know, just a wild move pool. Floor Cannon's a nuke, Flash Cannon, Iron Head, Slow Volt Switch. It can Trick Room, it can Thunder Wave things. It's just, yeah, it was a no-brainer. Just go ahead and grab Magana forehead. That was pretty much my thought process. There's not really much else to say. It's a Magana. If you've played OU at all in the last year and a half, you know exactly what Magana does. So we have Magana. Unfortunately, no Z moves on Ubers, so I'm a little bit unfortunate there. Actually, I think you could. I don't remember, but either way, I don't have Z moves on Magana because I feel like, you know, just running an Assault Vest or Resist Berry is usually better, especially with the mons that I ended up putting Z Crystals on. Anyway, so next up, we decided to, I was looking at a lot of the tier 1s, and I really did not like a lot of them. But I noticed that there was one mon in particular in tier 3 that destroyed a lot of what was in tier 1. But if I would have taken that, it would have just overlapped way too many typings because there were just so many dragons in tier 1 that I didn't really want to have double dragon with that. So I didn't end up going with the tier 3 mon that I thought would have been a great pick. So instead, I ended up going with the only tier 1 that I saw that I had any interest in using, and that was Mega Blaziken. Mega Blaziken, I guess, gets a bad rap for being bad, but anyone who calls Mega Blaziken bad is just wrong. Mega Blaziken is just an incredibly hard-hitting Pokemon. Unfortunately, there's no Baton Pass, but I don't care about there not being Baton Pass. This thing hits like an effing truck. 100 base speed is meh, but of course it does have speed boost, 130 special attack, 160 physical attack, A very good mixed move pool. Water switching into 160 attack, flare blitzes, or earthquakes, or high jump kicks, or what the hell ever. It gets Swords Dance for setup, can bulk up as well. Subsets are of course just destructive. Can protect to guarantee that speed boost and outspeed everything from there. Just an incredible Pokemon. Great wall breaker, great setup mon. Can defog in a pinch, but guess what? It's never running defog. It's coming in, it's clicking a button, and it's getting a kill. Mega Blaziken is something I'm very excited to use, and it should be a ton of fun. Now, before we move on to our next pick, let me preface these next couple picks by saying I did not go into this draft with the intent to copy Luxanse's, my buddy Lux's ICB 18. I did not go in with the intent to do that. I sort of ended up doing it. I had no intentions of drafting Mega Blaziken at all at the start, but I ended up with it. I did have intentions of drafting this next Pokemon, and that Pokemon is Tornadus T. He has Mega Blaziken, Torn T, and you'll see a few other mons that end up on this team. But like I said, at the end of the draft, I did sort of do it on purpose. But at the start of the draft, I did not intend to copy his team. So for anyone who's a crossover fan between us, it's not intentional at the start. But yeah, Torn T is just a mon that I cannot express to you how much I love using this Pokemon in draft. It has just fantastic all-around stats. Basic 121 speed is phenomenal. Just incredible bulk. Can be built physically bulky or especially bulky with a Soul Vest or a Rocky Helmet. Regenerator is such a good ability for this thing. It is one of my 2 Z move users, so it can just spam crap like Z Hurricane, Z Focus Blast. Stuff like Z Icy Wind is an option. Sludge Bomb, Sludge Wave, U-Turn, Taunt. It just gets so many good things. I love this Pokemon to death. And it is going to be very, very fun to use, especially paired with the rest of our team. Next up, wanted to go ahead and grab a Regenerator Core. Went with Tangrowth. I wanted to have good ground resistances for Magana and Mega Blaziken, Torn T, and Tangrowth, of course. They not only provide ground resistances, but provide a Regenerator Core and another mon from Lux's ICB-18. Lux is in this league, of course. He's the League of Lopanikos. He has a new logo, so also yeah, go check out everyone. Completely forgot. Go check out everyone in the description. A lot of good friends here, so just be sure to go check everyone out in the description. Got about Shay, Dai, Aaron, Lux, Kohan. Just a lot of dudes I've been in a lot of leagues with. Jacob. Some people I've never been in leagues with before, but yeah, it should be a really fun time. Go check everyone out. Now that that's out of the way, get back to Tangrowth. Like I said, provides me one of the absolute most reliable Earthquake switch-ins in the game. Fun move pool. Regenerator, like I said, can run Chlorophyll if I'm playing the Groudon team or something like that. Could potentially be pretty fun. But yeah, Leech Seed if you're not running a Soul Vest, Sleep Powder, knockoff. Like I said, just another knockoff mon. I believe 3 out of my 4 mons have knockoff everything, but Magana does. Earthquake, just it's a Tangrowth, man. It's gonna sit there. It's not gonna die. It's an Earthquake switch-in. It's a Grass type, very bulky and a great Pokemon all around. Next up, I wanted to grab more speed. I wanted hazards, and I wanted another Pokemon that I've just always wanted to use. So next up, we decided to go ahead and grab our boy Scolipede. Again, Speed Pass is banned, so it might be pretty dumb to see Mega Blaziken and Scolipede on the same team, especially with Speed Pass banned. But I don't care. I've always wanted to grab Scolipede. I saw it on the board. I'm like, you know what? I kind of want some hazard stack. I kind of want some spikes, some T-spikes, and another really offensive Pokemon. So I'm like, screw it. I love Scolipede. We gonna use Scolipede. It's got a great design, a great move pool, and that is why it is my other Z user. It and Tornadus T will be the Z users for this season of the GUU. And yeah, I'm really looking forward to using this thing. Like I said, I've always wanted to grab this thing. It just has such a wild move pool. It just has so many good matchups. It causes so many problems in prep. Just based on whether you want to be offensive or a more, supporty set with, your entry hazards. But yeah, this thing is just so fun. And it's going to have a wild move pool. It's going to hopefully put in a ton of work for us. Next up, I wanted to grab a good ground type. I wanted to grab something that helps with Psychics. Because right now we only really have Magana that can switch into Psychics. And, sort of deal with them that way. So I wanted to grab a good Dark type. I also wanted to grab my ground type. You see where we're going. We decided to go ahead and grab Krookodile. Krookodile is another Pokemon that I absolutely love to use in League. Format. Earthquake, Knockoff, Stealth Rock. Need I say more? Intimidate and Moxie are 2 incredible abilities. This one can just win a game if you chip a team down right with Choice Scarf Moxie, or it could just pivot into stuff with Intimidate and live hits for days. Gets a good enough move pool, stuff like Taunt. Locate, Knockoff, that sort of thing. Gets enough coverage that it needs, but basically it's going to be spamming Knockoff. It's going to be spamming Earthquakes. It's going to Pursuit Trap some things, and yeah, it's just an all-around hard-hitting mon. Great design as well, and it should be a very fun Pokemon to use. Fit the team, gave me exactly what I needed. Excuse me. Next up, I decided to go ahead and grab a dragon. This wasn't, like I said, this was not the dragon I wanted, unfortunately, so ended up going a bulkier route with my dragon, and that mon is Goodra. Goodra provides just a great SPDF check to a lot of things that this team is going to have trouble, you know, dealing with, particularly fat grasses. I have Mega Blaziken, I have Torn P, which just gives me another check for those. Like I said, I guess, like, I really hate fat grass types the way I've been drafting lately, so I don't know, I guess subconsciously that's the thing I decided to deal with more. But yeah, Goodra just gives me another fun mon, a good SPDF wall. Gives me, you know, a good check to electric types, because I didn't really have the best checks. I have Tangrowth, Krookodile, and I'll have yet another one with Scolipede, so another check for those. Gives me a good water switch in as well. It's just got a great set of resistances, being pure dragon. Immunity to grass with Sap Sipper. GUU is a great ability for those faster things. Hydration can be cool if I'm playing a rain team, something like that. But yeah, just another really fun move pool mon. Can hit really hard if you want to run like a choice set. Can do some things with that, but all in all, this thing's just going to be the ultimate defensive pivot. The lack of reliable cover is annoying, but we sort of helped patch it up at some points later. But yeah, just another mon that I love to use, and it's freaking adorable. You just look at him, he's so cute. So next up, I wanted to grab my tier 5. I wanted to grab a good tier 5. I wanted a good water type. I wanted more hazard control. So with that being said, we went with old, reliable Blastoise. I feel like Blastoise is kind of becoming a staple of my draft league teams. I just love having this thing on my team. It's just so reliable. It's a great rapid spinner. It's a great, you know, just again, defensive pivot into crap that doesn't want to take hits. The rest of the team doesn't want to take, obviously. You know what I mean. I'm stupid. But like I said, Rapid Spin, Scald, Mirror Coat is phenomenal on this thing. Aqua Jet for random priority, gets good ice coverage. Signal Beam for like random dark types. Dark Pulse, Aura Sphere for coverage. It gets a lot of good coverage and can hit very hard in the right situation. Or it can just sponge hits for days and spin, click Toxic, and just be an annoying fat water. That is one of my personal favorites in the entire format. Next up, this is where the memes, like with Lux and I's team, just went out the door. I wanted Jolteon because, you know, I just wanted like another really fast Pokemon. I wanted something to be like it would have just been my fastest one on the team, obviously. So I just wanted to grab that, but unfortunately, it got taken like a few picks before me. So that's pretty sad. So I'm like, screw it. This one was on my this one was like on my list anyway, and like, you know what, let's just lean full on into copying Lux's team. So we decided to grab Heliolisk. It's at this point he's like, bro, come on, man. I'm like, you know what, I didn't mean to, but we're gonna do it. He's like, yeah, okay, let's do it. But Heliolisk is a really fun mon. It's an electric type that gets access to U-turn, so I don't have to worry about those freaking ground types wanting to pivot in on me. But this thing has a few ways of dealing with ground types against grass types as well as surf. Sub-glare sets are so good if used well. Dark Pulse spam. This mon can just hit incredibly hard, especially it gets a great move pool, gets good coverage with stuff like Dragon Tail, Dragon Pulse. Like I already mentioned, Grass Knot, gets U-turn, can run dual screens if you want to get super world. It gets light screen. I don't know why I mentioned that, but yeah, it gets T-Wave. Like, I mean, Glare's better, but yeah, it's just really fun mon, and I really like it. It gives me a water immunity with dry skin, so helping out Mega Blaziken there. Help taking pressure off Goodra as well as Blastoise as well as Tangrowth, so I have plenty of water help for Mega Blaziken. So yeah. Next up, I need another Stealth Archer. You might notice Krookodile is my only Stealth Archer to this point, and so I wanted to make sure I grabbed another one. I didn't really want to double up on ground types. There wasn't really like a rock type or anything I wanted. Like maybe Lycanroc Dusk was available. I'm not sure. If it is, I might look into that, but probably not. Because we went again with another old favorite. We decided to go ahead and grab Mesprit for a couple reasons. Stealth Rock, like I already mentioned, and Healing Wish. Healing Wish is so nice with a team that doesn't have great recovery or great wish passing yet. But Healing Wish is just so cool for stuff like Mega Blaziken that doesn't have great recovery, Magana that doesn't have great recovery, Scolipede, or like Blastoise or Goodra if I really need them to take hits. Like this mon, just I love Healing Wish. Great stats all around, 80 in HP and speed, and then 105 and everything else. Gets Ice Beam for coverage, gets U-turn to pivot out. Like, it can be ran offensively. You guys know I love me some PU. PU was my favorite tier. Mesprit is the best mon in PU, so it's like we're best friends basically already. I love me some Mesprit, and yeah, it should be a lot of fun. And then last but certainly not least, we grabbed yet another old friend from actually the same IBL team, Mesprit, as well as this Pokemon were on it, and like I said, we're just fully copying our boy Lux. So we decided to go ahead and grab Licky, providing us wish support that we did not have. So if we don't want to bring Healing Wish Mesprit for whatever reason, it does give us another normal type, which is kind of annoying, but I feel like we have enough answers to fighting types that I'm not too worried about that. We don't actually have the best, but we have stuff to deter them, like Magana, Torn, Scully's Resist, Tangrowth just takes hits. Same with like Blastoise and Goodra, and Mesprit being a psychic type. So we have some stuff for fighting types. I'm a little bit worried about that, not too terrified of it though. We do have, like I said, I feel like we have enough ways to deter most average fighting types. Like stuff like Mega Lucario or whatever might be a different story, but we don't talk about that. But yeah, Licky, great move pool. I ran it more like offensively in IBL because I'm a memer and I like doing that sort of thing, but it provides two essential things that this team needed: wish support as well as Heal Bell more reliably. So just absolutely one of the most underrated Pokemon in the format, in my opinion. It's a normal type that evolved from a Gen 1 normal type, so you already know it gets wild coverage, just pretty much anything you can think of. Main things being it gets like knockoff, you can boom, it can ice, fire, and water, or ice, fire, and electric, and water technically you can surf. But yeah, just a great mon, and it's a mon I'm comfortable with, and it should be a ton of fun. So with that being said, be sure to go check out all the coaches like I mentioned already, and let me know what you think of the team. And again, let me know if you want to join my front office and help me prep with this really fun team. Should be a great time. And so before we go, let's just go ahead and count. So we have Mega Blaziken, Torn T, Tangrowth, Heliolisk, and Licky. All 5 of those Pokemon are on Lux's team, and then he has Uxie instead of Mesprit. I decided to go Mesprit over Uxie because I wanted Memento where he wanted, or I wanted Healing Wish where he wanted Memento. So I just thought it'd be funny to point that out. So we have basically 5.5 of Lux's ICB team. I did to start off that way until like, what, screw it. I want like Heliolisk, or I needed to grab Heliolisk. I'm like, you know what, bro, we're doing this thing. And he's like, yeah, it's fine. So yeah, just putting that out there. He doesn't care. So for those of you who think I just should have copied his team, it's not like that at all. But yeah, it's gonna do it for me, guys. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you all for the next one. Peace out.